Hello, and welcome back. We are in the Kindred kitchen today, and this is one of our 25 Days of Christmas series. I'm Pam, if you haven't been here before, and V is behind the camera.
Hello.
And today we are making a peanut butter oatmeal cookie. Now, I am not a peanut butter cookie fan, but my kids do love peanut butter. And you know, growing up, my brother loved peanut butter too, peanut butter cookies. So we are gonna do this with no oil today, but before we get started, make sure you go down and hit that subscribe button so you know every time we come out with a new video, that little notification bell. Give us a thumbs up at the end if you like this, and let's come down and look at the ingredients. I have 2 cups of oats here. I have 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda and a 1/2 teaspoon, I don't know if you can see it, white on white, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I will put all these ingredients down in the description box. I have a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, I have a 1/2 cup of maple syrup, I have 3/4 cup of peanut butter powder, so we're eliminating a lot of the fat right here by using peanut butter powder instead of peanut butter. I have a teaspoon of vanilla. I have a 1/2 cup of water here, and I'm going to use between 1/4 to a 1/2 cup. When I made these last, I used a 1/2 cup. And then I have a 1/4 cup of oat flour, which I did myself. I just put oats into my Nutra blender and let it go. And it blended it up really well, and so I ended up with the oat flour. Okay, so now let's get started. I am going to put everything except for the oats into this. And I will tell you, as I'm putting these ingredients in, this is not something I would eat because I know it is higher in sugars, you know what I mean? It's got the maple syrup and the brown sugar in there. So, but my kids love it, and so I try to make them desserts that are healthier, you know, the healthiest that I can make, and still, you know, have it be a dessert. But I am not going to be eating this. You know, if you're craving, you know, some kind of sweet and you don't want to feel left out, doing something like this is much better than some of the alternatives. I would just pair this with a lot of vegetables and then be ready just in case you start having cravings, you know, from the sugars and the sweet that's in here, you know, just be ready for that. But, you know, you could have a couple of cookies and pair it with a bunch of vegetables and, you know, and probably do okay. I just would not make a habit of it. There's the peanut butter powder. Let me get this all mixed in.
It was smelling so good when you had all the ingredients laid out.
Yeah, it's all that, you know, vanilla and the brown sugar and everything. Okay, so I've got this mixed up. Now I'm going to add my oats and then the oat flour and water. So here's my 2 cups of oats and the oat flour in here. And my 1/2 cup of water. I'm going to add most of this. I added most of that. I probably left out a couple tablespoons. And I'm just going to mix it up and see how it is, and then see if I want to add that last bit of water. I mixed all the other ingredients up first to make sure that like the baking soda and stuff was evenly distributed in the cookie mixture.
And it smells so good.
I know, you can really smell the peanut butter now. If you like peanut butter cookies, you're gonna love this. My kids loved it, so. And I am gonna add this last couple tablespoons of water. So that was a 1/2 cup of water total. I'm gonna mix it up, and then I'll just let it sit for a minute. It kind of gets a little bit thicker, and the water absorbs a little. And okay, now, while that's sitting, I'm going to bring down, this is just a silicone baking sheet in your baking pan so that we don't have to use any oil or anything on here. Let me grab just a little bit of water to, I'll show you. I have my oven preheating at 375 degrees. Yeah, that's looking good. Looking good. I'm just going to give this a couple of more minutes to set, and then we will get it ready to bake. Okay, so this is set just for about 3 or 4 minutes. Now we're going to scoop it onto the baking sheet. The longer it sits, the oats absorb
the flavor,
the liquid and the flavor, and you know, and
yeah. It smells so good.
Yeah. let me get a sheet done and we will, oh, that's gonna be a big cookie. All right, I had a fork. Did I wash it? Okay, so I just use water, but you could use flour. I want to kind of flatten these out. Sometimes they don't stick. Sometimes they really stick. Because, you know, there's no flour in here, or there's no fat in here, really. So they're not going to just spread when the fat melts, you know, and your cookies spread out. So you want to flatten them out like that. And then I'm going to put these in the oven, 375 degrees for 10 minutes, and we will be back when they're done. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here are the cookies. I've got another half a dozen in the oven right now. This batch makes about a dozen and a half cookies, so somewhere around 18 cookies, and they are so good. These kids have been eating them and they can't wait for some more. I think a good addition to these cookies would be like chocolate chips. You can get the vegan chocolate chips. My family is not doing chocolate right now because I have 2 people that get migraines from chocolate. So I didn't put chocolate in here, but I think chocolate would be a good addition because it's kind of like that chocolate peanut butter flavor. So if you want to give that a try, let us know how that turns out. I just think that that would be so good. We hope you're enjoying the 25 days of Christmas and everything that we're bringing to you this season. If you have any ideas of other recipes you want us to try or family favorites that you want us to veganize, let us know because we can always do that. We love a good challenge. Make sure you go on over to kindredvegans.com and sign up for your newsletter. We have some exciting stuff going on and you are not going to want to miss it. So catch up with us tomorrow for the next day in our 25 Days of Christmas series and we will see you then. Bye for now.